And thus marks the day. I'm just kidding. This is Froster, and welcome back to playing Doki Doki Literature Club today. Last time we had some wild stuff happen, just in general, and um, yeah, wild stuff happened. So we restarted. We thought we were done, but we restarted, and Natsuki is just no longer existed in this universe. Um, let's check it out. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica in her irresistible smile. I dejectedly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, no, Natsuki's there, so who's the, there was someone else who was in charge. But anyway, welcome to the club, Frost. Sayori. All words escaping the situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuki, who appears comparable to Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet you both. So I ran into Frost in a classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that'd be great. Why don't you come sit down, Frost? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we'll all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must really have worked hard to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Frost, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these last few years, I really don't have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half jokingly. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much for a reader, I guess? Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with a finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story of such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her readings. She seemed so reserved and timid the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how Reddit can be so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Ha! I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were writing a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. And give that back. Fine, fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monaco. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we can all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on responsibility of vice president, after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Frost? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the whole time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made my decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Frost. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. If we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I'd feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls? Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Frost? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you're really just left after all this, I'd be super pissed. Frost, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignments. Write a poem to bring the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Frost, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Can't wait. Do we go to Monica? With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have a chance to go closer to one of these girls. Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Sure. A dream. I was staying over at my friend's place. There was four of us. I drifted off to sleep while everyone was talking and watching TV. In my dream, I was still at my friend's house. The only difference was there were nails sticking out of the walls everywhere, and there was also someone I didn't recognize. The person I didn't recognize told a joke, and everyone laughed. I woke up to the sound of everyone laughing at something that happened on the TV. So the laughing was not part of the dream. It was the noise that woke me up. I wonder who that person was and how they knew to tell a joke at that moment. Interesting. Oh, there's only two. Um, let's go for Natsuki. Oh. Uh. Oops. Like 17 out of 20. Hi again, Frost. Glad you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone was already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Frost. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. You already had him dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki certainly has a big mouth for someone who keeps their manga collection in the classroom. Oh, she's covering it! Natsuki finds herself being stuck between manga and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki pops back in her seat. So this is all like basically the same as before. Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might be interested in making a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that, you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you really don't want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be part of this club, so even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much? Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was always waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. Ugh. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Fucking Monica! She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point of keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pulled out of the stack. There it is. Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. Then she turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either one way out of my demographic or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can go do it through the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Frost. Consider this a lesson. Don't judge a book. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Power for the Girls in the Box. I'm going to show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. Ah, I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire, striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly mo. Don't just stand there. Oh, Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. Then she takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Why is that? I guess it's a little easy to be closer like this. Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing really happened yet, so I can talk all the same. It looks like there's about to be a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kinda grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. Are you sure this isn't boring to you? It's not, even though you're just watching me read. Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something like this with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? That's not... I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I ever get any of my friends to read this. They just think manga is just for kids. Can't even bring it up with them being all like, "Hey, you still haven't grown out of that phase yet?" Makes me want to punch them in the face. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, but much less friends who are actually into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitate toward the other losers all the time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. My dad would beat the shit out of me if he found this. At least it's safe here in the classroom. Except Monica's kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe, but at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Haha. Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Time passes. Natsuki is strangely quiet now. I glance over at her. Looks like she started to fall asleep. Hey, Natsuki. Yeah? Suddenly, Natsuki collapses straight into me. Hey. Oh. Oh, jeez. Natsuki, are you okay? Here. Monica reaches into her bag and pulls out some kind of protein bar. She throws it in Natsuki's direction. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper. I told you not to give him... She doesn't finish her sentence before shoving it in her mouth. Don't worry, Frost. She's fine. It just happens every now and then. That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share poems now? Let's share with Monica first. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Frost. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring up things, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Haha. Don't worry, Frost. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Frost. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something that Suki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. Haha. If you say so. Yep. If you're interested in Natsuki, then always keep a snack on you. She'll cling to you like a puppy. Natsuki's dad doesn't give her lunch money or leave her any food in the house, so she's in a fussy mood pretty often. But sometimes she just loses all her strength and shuts down. Like earlier. It's just a guess, but I think she's so small because of malnutrition is interfering with her adolescent growth. But hey, some guys are into petite girls, you know? Sorry, just trying to look at the bright side. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always don't feel that way, you know? I see. Let's read it then. Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. My burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in the room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks in my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, the kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if you know how to put this. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about steep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. You try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down the paper and tidy up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Let's go to Yuri next, I guess. Yuri says the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay, this is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah? Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad? No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there's specific writing habits usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. And the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers, they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stamina is completely gone. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, or me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be the literature club? Okay, so this is the ghost poem again, so all the poems are the same. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? Okay, so we did this. Yuri is the same as before. Kind of gonna go through here. I'll read Natsuki since I'm writing a poem for her. Okay, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving you an opinion. What's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I wanted to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poems if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well it's not that great, but let me show you what the real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. You just don't understand anything, do you? I told you that you don't have to go announcing to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said it. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or loss if she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Grr, fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah. I told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But it isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves. Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. It's like when it's easy to read but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling of the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I didn't really care how old everyone is, but Natsuki is feeling proud that I won't take it away from her. Phew, I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. As if everyone was judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica was writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? You mean you have to try hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Frost did too. So based on that, I'm glad to give some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the effort, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't. Ugh. And Frost liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress the new member, Yuri. That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Frost appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how did he know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I was the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Frost started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that, you really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking. You want to be edgy, bitch? Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only thing cute about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful, you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Frost hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri turns toward me as if she just noticed I was standing there. Frost? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. I... I can't... Monica? Monica's in the middle of this? Hey Frost, why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for you to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Aha. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I feel like she's behind all this, whatever's behind it. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki, or did. Frost, please don't hate me, please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to stay, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. I just... I don't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Frost. I would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really... I picked Yuri, but... Okay. Alright, let's see what this says. Another day passes, it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club, the usual scene greets me. Welcome back, Frost. Oh, hi, Yuri. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Yuri's expression, but the weight of yesterday's quarrel still hangs in the air a little. Yuri glanced over her shoulder, looking around the room. Natsuki is reading manga at the desk, and surprisingly, Monica isn't here yet. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me to the corner of the room. About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that has ever happened before, and something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Please don't think we're usually like this. Not just me, but Natsuki as well. Yuri, I'm happy that you were considerate and apologized. You don't have to worry too much. Even though I've only been here a couple days, I could tell something was off yesterday. Maybe we were just a little extra sensitive because it was the first time sharing poems. But whatever it was, it didn't make me think anything less of you. I'd already decided that there's no way you could be a bad person. And now you're apologizing, I know you really didn't mean it. Frost, don't say those kinds of things so frankly. They make me a little too happy. I'm really glad that you're such an understanding person. And I'm really glad that you joined this club. Everything is a little bit brighter with you around, and... sorry, what am I saying right now? Hey, have you guys seen Monica? No, I haven't. I was also kind of wondering where she was. Man. Yuri, I'm guessing you haven't either? Yuri is clearly taken aback by how calmly Natsuki is addressing her. No, I haven't. Jeez, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Natsuki, about yesterday. I just wanted to apologize. I promise I didn't mean any things I said. I'll do my best to stay under control from now on. So, Yuri, what the heck are you talking about? Did you do something yesterday? Jeez. Whatever's in your mind, I'm sure it was nothing. I don't even remember anything bad happening. You're the kind of person who worries too much about the little things, aren't you? But I'll accept your apology anyway if it helps you feel better about it. Besides, it's kind of nice to hear, since I was afraid you secretly hated me or something like that. No, not at all. I don't hate you. Well, you're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either. Natsuki turns to me. You're still on trial, though. Hey. Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. There you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Well, Natsuki was. I was not. What took you so long anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't where you played music as well, Monica. Don't give me more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm still not really good yet. Still? That must require a lot of dedication, so I'm impressed. Well thanks, Yuri. You should play something for us sometime. Monica looks at me. Well, I'm working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. That sounds cool. I look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Frost. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I was hoping that I could share it with you anyway. I guess that's why I've been practicing so much recently. I see. I'm not sure if Monica was referring to the whole club or just me. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? No, not really. I chose not to bring up anything that the three of us talked about. Besides Natsuki, I'd already run off to a desk. The closet. Frost? Since your compliments, I was wondering if you'd spend some time together today. I mean, in the club? I suppose so. I don't think I can say no to you after you give that book to me. Well, I guess I need to make sure Natsuki isn't waiting for me. After we finished reading yesterday, she's fine. She's reading it over there, see? Don't think about her so much. She's used to being ignored. Come on, we're going over there. What's the story about, anyway? Well, I got the cover of the book. Titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. The people trapped there have traits, so this is the same thing as we did before with the book. But because the world is full of horrible people we're all worthless anyways, then suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Oh, so it does change a little bit, so I won't skip it as much. Sorry. My bad. Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writings from my thoughts, my whole body gets. I forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. That's. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's literature club after all. Ah, well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book I put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I stay here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Ah, yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means by reading company. It's as I can feel the presence of my shoulders as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Oh, what was that? I want to go back to the history. Oh, it doesn't tell you. You really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk and notes up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean a little bit, I feel like I was touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page? Sorry. I think I got distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We'll continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting the page go, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character reminds me a little bit of you. Eh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry, I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest, as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Frost? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri's acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was making sure you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing our problems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I figured we could start without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. Make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip back in my bag. Whoa. Who should I show my phone to first? Monica, obviously. Hi again, Frost. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going to bad. I'm happy you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on it. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give that poem, Monica. Alright, great job, Frost. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri has this kind of writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she used to be indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so I don't blame her for coming on a little strongly, like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. There's still plenty of time, so I'm more than glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like this one, the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Save me, the colors they won't. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise that won't stop, violently grating waveforms, soaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a knife on a breathing ribcage. Endless, something meaningless. Delete her. Oh, okay. Sorry, I know that's kind of abstract. I'm just trying to, well, never mind. There's no point in explaining. Anyway, here's Monica's writing to the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when, who am I talking to? Can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me. Anything? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and save here, because I got a thing for work that I gotta work on. But we're gonna save it. That'll be it. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and hopefully next time we'll finish this. Bye.